guys, welcome back to yet another episode of I Am I. I'm here in this beautiful background here for you. I've really just given up on the fancy ass backgrounds, right? Because here it is, it's just, let's just fucking get real, you know? So of course today is Valentine's Day, so we're gonna talk about love. We're gonna talk about love. And if you're one of those Valentine's Day haters, I get it, but just knock it the fuck off. Knock it off, right? I understand about the commercialism, right? I'm not for the commercialism. It's awful. It's bullshit. I understand the concept that we should talk about love every day, which I pretty much do. So, right? So, understanding is how we relate to things. And really, if you're miserable about Valentine's Day, let's see what we're really miserable about. See, because I venture to say that probably about 90% of our, I'm always good with the percentages. 92% of our emotions we're not actually feeling about what we think we're feeling about. We're feeling about something else. So let's get into that space of you want a love partner, you want a partner, you want somebody, you want a Valentine, right? And you want that who doesn't want that butterfly in their stomach and that feeling of being in love and all this crap? And I will tell you that it is actually crap. It is crap. That is not love. I've said this before. That is actually misunderstanding love for a reaction of fear. That is an addictive chemical response to abandonment issues. That's what that is. If you think about this, right? So that excitement, right, is just a chemical that gets released by how you're relating to something. As I always say, it's not the world that causes the suffering, but how you relate to it. And as we get into love here, I'm not talking about changing the way you relate to it, meaning so that you should tolerate abuse because it's how you're relating to that relationship that is causing the problem. That's not what I'm talking about. It's still how you're relating to that relationship. It might mean that if you actually had enough self-respect and a self-love, you would get the fuck out of that relationship and change the way you're relating to it. You would see what it truly is, right? I don't know. This is for you to figure out. You can just share my experience, strength, and hope. In that I had no idea that when you start to love and respect yourself, people will start to love and respect you. And you have to teach them how to treat you. Even the people that aren't assholes, right? It all depends. Everybody has their issues. Codependency, narcissism, we all got degrees of it, and depends on how we relate to other people. And how you're relating to people in your present day life is all about how you're conditioned in your past. That's why I say 90% of how you actually feel is not about what you're feeling right now. It is actually some conditioned response to some sort of conditioning that has happened years ago. So you don't like somebody, you ever get that, like, I don't know how I feel about that person, it's like, I don't know, just, right, because they remind you of something, right? So there's so much shit to work through in your life to know, because it is not black and white. It is just not black and white, right? So I can't tell you, oh, you're in a shitty relationship, you need to get out. You might need to, because it is all about that self-love and self-respect. And when we learn to love and respect ourselves, we learn to love and respect others that can love and respect themselves. And I'm telling you, this sounds... I was teaching in class today, and somebody said whatever I said, I don't know what it was, but they said it sounds really negative, probably about the whole, it's just a conditioned response or a chemical response thing, and that butterflies is, that young love. It's all that young love is. It's like, oh, am I actually going to get left? And you get this, it's a fight, flight, or freeze, really is what it is. It's like this excitement. It's just, again, addicted to chemicals. But somebody said that was really negative. And I say, and what I said is from where you're standing, yes. But from where I'm standing, it's fucking fantastic. Because, it's not black and white. So everybody was asking me about how my trip to Mexico was, right? My trip to Mexico was amazing. Trip to Houston, LA, and Mexico was amazing. But everybody asked me, like, how was it? And I'm like, dude, it was amazing. And then I go off on a list of shit that is all fucked up. I'm like, it's amazing. I was in the hospital, like in and out of the hospital, in LA. And then Megan was throwing up on the bus for 4 hours. And there was tick bombs and chiggers and canceled flights. And we both got sick. And all this stuff that I throw out that sounds awful. But for some reason, I actually feel like I had this amazing time, because to me, none of that ruined it, right? None of that ruined it, because I had such an incredible time. And I will say that I had an incredible time with an incredible partner. But it was not just because I was just because I was with her. No. It was because my life is fucking fantastic, and I had an incredible time no matter what was happening. I had an incredible time while she was throwing up for 4 hours on the bus. I felt awful. I felt very compassionate towards her and was there supportive for whatever she needed, but it didn't ruin my time. I didn't get to go to the reason why I went to Mexico was to go to Teotihuacan. I can't even say it. Teotihuacan. Just get it out. But I didn't even get to go. And I did have the opportunity to go, but I didn't want to leave her because she was sick. And I was like, no, I made the choice, not codependently, but being like, it didn't feel right. I'm not going to leave her and go off on this fucking where it's the place where men become gods. Well, I guess I'm still becoming a man, let alone a god. So I'm not ready for that, I guess, and that's totally fine. So I had this amazing time. We had this amazing time. And I didn't need any of this external shit. Now, don't get me wrong, we got the external shit. We went whitewater rafting, and, we were hanging out, we played music, and we met amazing people, and we did all this great stuff. Like, it really was. And that's like, what else did we do? I don't know, whitewater rafting? I don't know. We just had an amazing time because we started to enjoy life wherever we are. And it's not so black and white. It still does suck to go to work or do whatever you got to do sometimes. I'm not talking about being perfect and just like you're just happy when you're in an abusive relationship, because it's not that space of, well, I just become happy no matter what is going on. It's understanding what is in your control and what is not in your control, what you need to surrender and what you need to accept, right? And so in this life, it's understanding deeper and deeper that we have a lot more control over the things that we have no idea about, and we try to control all the things that we have no control over. It's crazy. It's insanity. First of all, trying to control other people. And you have no idea how much you're trying to do that. I guarantee you do it all the time. I don't like to tell people what they're doing, but it's my fucking blog. I'll do whatever the hell I damn well please. I guarantee you, if you're in a relationship, you're trying to control them all over the place. In your family, whatever relationship. I don't just mean an intimate relationship, right? And I will say this too, about wanting, everybody wants like a woke partner. And I'll tell you this, you don't want a woke partner. Having a woke partner means you gotta be fucking woke. It means you gotta pay attention to all your shit, and you gotta be aware of all their shit. Know what's your shit, know what's their shit. Know that you have shit. Know all your shit to make this thing functional and work. It's awful. Beautiful though. It's not awful. That's just me being silly. It's amazing. It really is amazing, because once you recognize that you have all this shit, once you accept that you have all this shit, that's when it's okay. Because the only difference between a woke partner and an unwoke partner is that your woke partner knows that they're fucked up. That's basically it. Because once you have this awareness that you're a human being and you have all these flaws, it's like nobody wants to accept that. And this shame that comes out of actually being able to have those flaws, or be like, think you have those flaws. You do. You're greedy, you're fucking jealous, you're angry, you're all this stuff. And once you recognize it's not you, it's just the way your mind operates, and that it's a completely different system, I'm telling you, there is so much fucking freedom in this. When you start to be able to love yourself and not be swept up in your mind's wants and desires and drives, doesn't mean you can't even go towards your mind's wants and desires and drives, but it means you operate from a higher space and decide whether that is a motive that you should work towards or not, and work with or not, right? And then it's like understanding other people's shit to see whether it is something you can compromise, because it's not black and white. It's not just about give, serve. It's all about, loving more, and I talk about service and being of service. Sometimes service can be really fucked up. Service is not always the answer. If you're a codependent motherfucker and you don't know how to say no, you don't know how to set boundaries, and somebody just takes and manipulates you, you're fucked. You're fucked and you're screwed, and you don't even know it, and your life is going to be miserable, and you're going to wonder why, and it's because you are not standing up for the love that is inside of you for you. You must love yourself first, and that's what it always comes back down to. And the more you love yourself and understand that your mind is fucking flawed, then you can still love your mind, and then you can love others who have those flaws too. Some of them from a distance, detaching with love. This is fucking love. And no, you don't have to like everybody. You don't even have to like the people that are very close to you. You don't have to like your fucking family. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. But you can love them, but you don't have to like them. Now, hopefully you like the person that you choose to spend your time with. If you've already picked your partner and they're fucking shitbags, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna either have to, take your leap or not, and do whatever is right for you, or change the way you relate to it. See whether it's something that you need to change the way you relate to in that moment, literally in that space of staying in the relationship, but the way you're relating to it, because maybe you're missing a fucking picture, because you are. You're missing, and we're all missing the picture. We're all missing the truth. The truth is that it's nothing but love. It's all connection, it's all beauty, and it all has to happen exactly the way it's supposed to happen, right? but you enact your will in alignment with something higher once you start to connect to that space. And once you start to connect to that space within you, from the love within you, so that the love grows outward, it will stop you from getting crushed down from these externals, from other people's minds, not other people's mind-body complex getting what they want. They will try to manipulate and you abuse you, and if you allow that to happen, then you are not in love and you are not in an ahimsa, which is non-harm. You are actually fucking yourself over if you just allow someone else to whip you around, even if it's your beloved, even if it's your parents, even if it's your children. It doesn't mean that you have to be angry. It might be that, if that's what you need to do, but it's learning to set boundaries, and that is self-love. And when you start to do that, people will start to love and respect you. You'll start to get all that love and respect that you're trying to get from somebody, and that you're gonna sit there and drink your wine alone and be like, I fucking hate Valentine's Day and it's so miserable. It's not miserable. You're fucking miserable. So knock it off, do the work, lift yourself up, rise out, and love yourself. In Lakesha Lakin, I am you, you are me. Namaste.